Hello everyone, it's Linz from the Children Changing Nations team, and we're really excited this Christmas to be able to journey with you. We want to explore lots of characters from the Christmas story and see how it helps us connect with God and with others in our community. So you are going to be given a series of videos that will help you to focus on parts of the story and see how it can bless the community. We will encourage you to download our pack, to go out with family or friends or your church group and make your own Christmas journey and get out there and see what God is doing. You're going to see on the videos a number of faces, people from our team and others who have journeyed with us over our time at Children Changing Nations. Some of them children, some of them adults, all with a heart to connect with God and to bless others. So sit back, enjoy the videos and see what God is challenging you to do to go out and journey with him this Christmas time. We know that the star is a really special part of the Christmas story. It helps us to think about God guiding. So right at the start of your Christmas journey, why don't you take some time to reflect on how God is going to guide you as you go and bless others. We're going to encourage you to sit back, to listen to Tiana, who is a young girl from Southend Christian Fellowship, and she's just going to share a few thoughts with you on how God guides her today.
God is the light of the world and he shines bright. He leads us the way when we don't know where to go. He shows us visions and pictures in our heads. He's always there for us when we need someone through tough times and easy. He always helps us when we've got no one. He's always by our side when we've got no one to play with. He's always there for us. He's the light of the world and he'll never leave our side. God guided the wise men just like he guides us.
Of course, the Christmas story wouldn't be the same without Mary and Joseph and their obedience to God. Jess is going to share a few thoughts with us about how these characters can help us think a little more about those who are travelling, those who are separated, those refugees, people who really need our support and prayers this Christmas time.
The Christmas story is full of journeys, and most of them were quite difficult. Mary and Joseph had to travel all the way to Bethlehem to be counted when Mary was just ready to give birth to the baby Jesus. It must have been so difficult. And then at the end of the story, we see them go on another journey, fleeing as refugees to Egypt to escape Herod. Perhaps this Christmas you could take time to pray for those on journeys, whether it is people local to you or those travelling from distant lands searching for refuge themselves. Perhaps your family could go somewhere like your local bus station and pray there. Or maybe you live near to an airport. Wherever you go, why not take some time to pray for those who are journeying home to be with family, or perhaps those who are unable to make it home to their families this Christmas. And let's think about those who, just like Mary and Joseph, are refugees searching for somewhere safe in our world.
For the next part of the journey, we're going to have a think about the shepherds. They were considered in the Christmas story as a lowly group of people, but important enough for God to choose them to be the first to go and see baby Jesus and to spread the good news. Have a look on the pack. There's some amazing ideas of things that you can do to support people on the fringes. Christmas is a really great time to bless others and to share the good news of Jesus, just like the shepherds did. Maybe as you're going on your walk around the community, you could focus on places locally that really care for others, those who are thinking about those who really are in need, those that are on the fringes, those that really need to hear God's good news and receive his blessing. One of those places for me in my community is the Beacon Centre, and it's the local food bank. Maybe with your family, friends, church, class, you can go and collect a basket of food and to take it down. Maybe you could pray for the volunteers, thank God for the work that they do and declare a blessing over them. Maybe you could pray for families and individuals who are at the food bank, share something of the good news, bless them with practical gifts and also with God's blessing. Nick is now going to talk to us about the three kings and how they can help us reflect on the Christmas story and where in your community you may go to focus on them and to bless others.
Hi, I'm Nick from Children Changing Nations, and we came here to Oxford to the covered market and prayed with shopkeepers. We went in and we asked, would you like a tea or a coffee? And while we were purchasing that for them, we asked them if there was anything we could pray for. And the children went into the shop afterwards, delivered their drink and prayed with them for their business, and that their business would do well, that they would keep their employees, that it would be successful. And at this time of year, Christmas, it reminds me of the wise men, and when the wise men brought their gifts to Jesus. So why don't you pray for the businesses and shops near you? Why don't you pray that they do well? Why don't you offer to bless them by purchasing something or just going in and offering to pray for their business? You'll be amazed what can happen. The children certainly were when they came here.
At this point in the story, we're going to stop. We're going to think about King Herod and how he tried to halt the work of God. And Jess is going to share some of those thoughts with us now.
The Christmas story is full of obstacles, things that might get in the way. There's the fact that Mary and Joseph struggle to find somewhere in Bethlehem to stay. The threat of King Herod, or even the wise men travelling to the wrong place before they finally reach the baby Jesus. I wonder what obstacles and challenges you are facing in your life today. I wonder what obstacles and challenges there are in the community where you live. What things are stopping people from drawing close to God this Christmas and responding to the good news about Jesus? Why not stop and pray for God to remove those obstacles? To pray your kingdom come on earth, your will be done, and to ask God to reach down and make a difference in your community and your life today.
For our last part of the journey, we're going to go back to Joseph. Of course, when everyone had met baby Jesus, that wasn't the end of the journey. And we know that it wasn't a sweet little stable and all was well. There was real danger at the end of the story because King Herod still wanted to find baby Jesus and to kill him. Joseph, at the end of the nativity scene, had a dream from God. And that dream told him to take Mary and Jesus to safety to Egypt. And we learn lots about God's protection along the way. That connection was so important to the next part of God's plan for the world. Reuben, who is part of Bloxham Baptist Church, is going to share with us some of the things that he does to connect with God today. Can you tell us some ways in which you connect with God?
Well, sometimes I listen to my God music. Sometimes I imagine a whiteboard in my head and God draws me pictures. And sometimes I think about the Holy Spirit being my right-hand man.
Can you think of some times that you've encountered God?
Well, at home, I thought about God's amazing love and asked for messages for my community. In the village, I tied some love hearts messages by my school, the park, the church, on the trees at the village green. With my family, I collected some leaves, sticks, seeds, and made a picture. God showed me that his world is amazing, and I am too.
So there we are. the end of our Christmas story. We really pray at Children Changing Nations that as you enjoy the festivities, that you will think about this Christmas journey, that you will go out and make a difference in your community with your prayers and your declarations and your blessings. And as always, we would love to hear how your journey went. So do download the pack, do send us any of your stories or photographs, because we always love to hear from you. If you want to hang on, you will see Mrs. Santa also sharing some extra thoughts with you about God Connections. Happy Christmas.